missing though. I don't know.
His DP is good,
right?
But he wants everything to be super dark, and there's no fun to it. The Watchmen, I get
300,
but it is weird because the one that kind of put him on the map was fun. It was a horror film, but it was fun. Dawn of the Dead had some really stupid comedy scenes.
Yeah,
like it worked. And he was like, "Well, people like the horror and the darkness, so let's ruin it with everything else."
It's kind of like the James Cameron thing. Goes from a guy with zero visuals, which I know Terminator was in the beginning of his career and probably had no money, to like over visuals. So,
but even that was
Zack Snyder goes from funny to just complete dark.
But even the Terminator at the time was like, whoa, you know what I mean?
Not the first one.
You don't think so?
Not the first one.
Like I know it was kind of like grainy, but I just figured that
pretty
was
low
just
budget.
because we haven't, we've seen it since its release, and obviously technology has been much better. But
no Terminator 2.
Well, that's visual. He obviously got more money at that point. Yeah. What's the one, the Zack Snyder one about the girls?
Sucker Punch.
Sucker Punch. See, Bob-o Cop here is a fan. Me and Danimal, not fans.
Everybody hates that movie but me.
It's like me with Space Odyssey. Everyone hates it but me.
I almost walked out of that movie. It was so bad. I remember watching it. They really built it up. The director of 300. I was like, 300, a bunch of half-naked guys. This can't be that
Oh my god, worst movie ever.
Great movie. I don't know what you guys are upset about.
I can't take the history. Well, this goes into my hatred of Frank Miller, which could be I could do an hour and a half podcast on my hatred of Frank Miller.
But actually, this is interesting. If it wasn't for Zack Snyder, you guys wouldn't have Poe Dameron in the next Star Wars film.
Really?
Yes, because Oscar Isaac was in Sucker Punch, and the reason he didn't die is because they liked him too much.
They liked him so much. Yeah, Poe Dameron originally supposed to die.
Yeah,
the character, and they liked him so much. His Apocalypse.
He's fine.
It was all right.
He's a decent actor. He's
I don't mind him. I like him.
I don't know if he's my favorite character even in the new Star Wars movies. If they would have killed him off, I don't think I would have cared much. I mean, he hasn't really done too much. But what has he done, really? I mean, he's pretty funny in the beginning, but, I mean, unless the next movie, I'll be like, I don't know why I said that, but...
he's kind of like the new Han Solo. I mean, obviously he's not anything like Han Solo, but they tried to make him kind of like the new Han Solo.
You can't have a new Han Solo. It's just Han Solo and that's it. They killed him, so now there's no funny quirkiness of the movies. That's it. It's just
everything's dead serious.
It died with Han Solo. That's it.
Well, I mean, that could work, I guess. Just a depressing Star Wars.
Yep.
For the future.
Yep, they're all depressing.
Rogue One? Rogue One was a pretty depressing one. I don't think there's any humor in that one. Well, a little bit, but...
Yeah, there's humor in it.
No, K2, he was kind of the...
Because of brutally murdered.
Comic relief.
So all those the characters you care about so much all get killed crazy in that movie.
But I was reading that DC... So Warner Brothers is kind of absorbing DC productions. I guess they were kind of separated. Now Warner Brothers is absorbing them.
I thought they always had DC.
Well, they did, but they let DC kind of do their own thing. Like, they kind of like, we have the rights, but you kind of... DC Productions, you do your own thing, and different guys. Now, they've been absorbed, and they're kind of like, essentially fired all those DC guys. They're like, yeah, get out of here.
That's probably for the
who's got Jeff Johns. Now has gone from like, he was like, I think, pretty much the executive producer of everything, kind of now. He's just going to be kind of like a, what do you call it?
Gopher.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's
like,
going to get coffee.
A helper.
And consultant,
thank you. That's the word I'm looking for. Thank you. And now the Warner Brothers higher-ups who are kind of taking over and are saying, get rid of Snyder. Why do you guys keep using him? Get rid of him. They don't want him anymore.
It's so weird because they have so much talent, and they just refuse to utilize it. They just keep sticking with him.
Why? What's Marvel done? And I'm kind of going on a side tangent here, but what's Marvel done that DC just can't seem to accomplish? What is it the stories? Is it the actors are getting? Is it the...
I'm sure it's the stories and the directors, but it's actually interesting because they seem to be more controlling of the films than Warner Brothers. Because if you look at, we were talking about Edgar Wright earlier, he left Ant-Man because he felt that he wasn't allowed to bring his vision into it. And something similar happened with the Han Solo film. The Lego movie guys were going to direct that. But it's weird, if you don't control the story, then you're going to end up with the same stuff, the same problems that you've had from that director now 3 films in a row. It's not getting any better.
That's been going on, though, even since back the early Batmans.
Oh, yeah.
That's why Tim Burton left. because he wanted to make this third one with Scarecrow, and he was going to make it like this really dark, scary thing.
I think it was supposed to be Howard Stern was supposed to be Scarecrow. I heard.
Yeah, that probably would have happened, but then they didn't want it. They had to sell toys, and he said, well, "Forget it," and walked away. And then we've got the trash called whatever Joel Schumacher put out.
Batman Forever, one of the greatest superhero movies ever. So
you can't even say that with a straight face.
It is my favorite Batman. I know I get a lot of heat for this, and everybody thinks I'm crazy, but Batman Forever is my favorite Batman. I think it encapsulates the most of what Batman is supposed to be. It represents Batman the best.
Jim Carrey is the Riddler.
Yes,
it was terrible.
He was funny. The Riddler's supposed to be an over the top kind of crazy.
They should just
character.
They should have just called him Jim Carrey, and that he should have just been the villain.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Jim Carrey.
I thought he was. Yeah. I thought it was Batman fighting Jim Carrey.
I mean, but those two
barely there.
Yeah, those two movies were a perfect example of them getting involved because they wanted to sell toys, and it was just they were disastrous compared to the Tim Burton ones. Yeah, disastrous.
The Riddler was a poor cast. They just did that to get a buck, I think.
Yeah, because Jim Carrey was like the funniest guy at that time, so they just used him. And Jim Carrey's really good. It's just wasn't.
But the Riddler is supposed to be. He's not supposed to be like psychotic or anything like the Joker. He's supposed to be like the Joker, but more lighthearted. The Riddler was always like that.
He was more like the Mask.
Yeah, he was. He really was. He was more like the Mask. It would have been cool if they had him like kind of in the same acting realm as who was the guy from the 60s. I think
Frank Gorshin.
Yeah, he's the best Riddler ever.
And well, exactly. Look at him. He was over the top.
He wasn't
with the
like,
movements and crazy.
He wasn't like
and...
Jim Carrey. Yeah, wasn't like Jim Carrey. There was a different subtleness, but like quirky about him. He's the best Riddler.
I don't like the whole love story with him and
Nicole Kidman.
Nicole Kidman, like it's just like
it's the car. Chicks take the car.
She's like a therapist and
it was weird.
It was bad. Like I don't know anything redeeming about it.
Well, you guys brought up another overrated director. I won't get too far into.
To a Tim Burton.
Again, I'm going to get yelled at for this one, controversial, but I have to say Tim Burton. I don't get why people like him so much. He makes the same movie all the time.
Yeah, you know what? Prior to, like, his Johnny Depp phase.
Oh, yeah, and let's use Johnny Depp in every movie. Guy hasn't made a decent movie in about 20 years.
I would say, like, even before that, like, probably, like, the Alice in Wonderland movies they weren't good, and...
He has a James Cameron disease. He made a bunch of really good movies.
Yeah.
And just makes a bunch of overpaid
garbage. Which sucks because Tim Burton's great. I think the last good movie he actually did. No, that's not true. I liked was that the one about the dog?
There's Big Fish, but that's not a dog.
No, you mean like it was an animated
Frankenweenie? That was really good. That's probably the most recent one. And
Sweeney Todd, I like.
Sweeney Todd was good.
Garbage.
That was it. Those were the last ones.
Big Fish, Planet of the Apes.
He did Planet of the Apes.
Okay, calm down.
He did the remake with Marky Mark.
Yeah, and
I didn't know that.
It was bad. Yeah,
that's where Winston comes from.
Yep.
Mars Attacks. That was a classic.
Yeah, it's right at Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Like
so
from that point forward, he made bad movies.
Yeah.
And before that, he was fine.
Yeah.
I would even disagree with that, but that's...
Yeah, but that's because he doesn't like Tim Burton.
Ed Wood.
Really?
Oh
yeah, it was good. Big Fish is really good.
I don't like the Batman.
If this was uncensored, you'd be getting Lugosi'd right now.
I cannot stand. I absolutely cannot stand Edward Scissorhands.
What about Beetlejuice?
I love it. Beetlejuice is great. Edward Scissorhands. All those movies.
No.
No Pee-wee?
I just can't stand his darkness. I hate the constant black and white of everything. Just don't like it. I don't like his visual.
It's so good.
It was very colorful and like that.
And
it's the first bad one.
And Nightmare
the first of the streak.
And Nightmare Before Christmas is just like, oh my god, that was just so groundbreaking, that movie.
What about the live action Dumbo?
He actually didn't direct that.
He's not doing that, is he?
Mm-hmm. Danny DeVito's going to be in. Colin Firth.
Well, Bob dies over here.
Yeah, sorry, my fault.
You hear the most that he didn't even direct Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, that was a different guy that directed.
Yeah.
That.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he just like wrote it.
Or something.
Oh, and drew all the characters.
Correct. It was the Coraline guy, I think, did Nightmare Before
James
Christmas.
and the Giant Peach guy.
Sure.
Wait, so he's doing live action Dumbo?
Yes. I don't know if it's live action, but he is doing a Dumbo movie.
It'll probably be live action. That's the
live action remake of an animated Disney film.
I'm not watching that. Dumbo is like the saddest movie in the world.
Michael Keaton's going to be in it.
Well, it'll be in black and
white,
and there'll be sandworms.
Because Tim Burton doesn't know to use, he only uses three people.
Johnny Depp is not going to be in it. So.
Oh, well, Helen Bonham Carter must be in it.
Yes, he is. He's going to be the mouse.
No, it's Danny DeVito. He's the mouse.
No.
He hasn't had Danny DeVito since...
Penguin?
Batman.
The worst Penguin? I think oh my god. I don't even want to get into that. I don't want to get into
it either. You're wrong.
Exactly.
I don't know when the Penguin turns into a sewer-dwelling monster that eats people. But,
read the comics, man.
It's not in the comics... The comics, he's pretty sure he's just like a mastermind criminal, but, whatever.
The Tim Burton comic he is.
Oh yeah, that was one of my favorite Kevin Smith quoting Tim Burton things. He's like, I don't read comic books.
Yep, that's right. He did say that. I don't read comic books. Yeah, he got a lot of heat for that. I remember. And clearly, if you watch the Batman, you can tell he doesn't read comic books.
I know, but they were still good.
Sure.
Still enjoyed them. Sure. I love Kevin Smith too. I think he's an underrated director.
The best Tim Burton movie was Superman.
The movie that never was.
The movie that never was.
The Return of Superman Lives.
Yep.
God.
Okay, so we don't have too much time left. We kind of went off with our directors there, but we got a little bit more time for some actors.
Overrated actors.
So who's some overrated actors we want to throw out there? Who's people we just cannot stand when they're on the screen? And
Marlon Brando.
Okay, you can just get out.
that is.
You can just get out right now. Wow, that's
Marlon Brando.
So Danimal has officially been banned from the podcast. Will never be on as a special guest again. It's a shame too, but
really, you think he's overrated?
Oh yeah,
I mean, The Godfather, Apocalypse Now.
Yeah, you should.
On the waterfront.
Streetcar Named Desire.
Streetcar. I mean, how can you throw this out here?
He's overrated. I didn't like him in The Godfather that much.
Oh my god.
I liked The Godfather 2 better when Robert De Niro played him.
Oh my god.
Don't get a lot of hate for it, but I don't know. Nothing special about him. He's a jerk in real life too, and I don't know. I mean, if we start talking about actors that are jerks, it's going to be all of them. But
he wasn't a jerk. He just
eccentric.
So his mother got him into acting. This is the backstory. His mother got him into acting. She kind of pushed him into it. He wasn't really something he really wanted to do, but he did it for his mother because he loved her so much. She died a long time ago. She died before I think even The Godfather came out. And he stopped caring, was what it was. So, and then he kind of went a little loopy and crazy. But he really just stopped caring because his mother was dead, and she's the one that made him do it. At that point, he didn't have anything else to do, so he had to act to make money, but he didn't really care about it.
I stopped caring, too.
So that's probably where his attitude kind of came from. But
I don't know, I don't care for him. He was cool as Unicron, but
that's the one that almost got him the Oscar.
Are you serious?
No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
I'm
kidding. Unicron. Also, Orson Welles.
Oh man.
Yep.
His corn commercial or whatever it was.
Yeah. Is it Orson Welles Unicron, actually?
It is, you're right.
Yeah, not Marlon Brando, so it's okay.
Got my facts wrong.
Got your facts wrong. So it's actually Orson Welles you think is overrated?
No, I do like... I Marlon Brando.
But come on, he did the whole movie of the score with De Niro and Ed Norton. He did without pants on. He did the entire movie acting without pants on. Now that's tour de force acting.
Apocalypse Now, he gained all this weight.
He was really fat.
He was.
He gained all this weight he wasn't supposed to, and didn't read the script, and had everyone and their mom have to read the script to him while he was trying to act, and then he just did his own thing.
Yeah, but let's be honest, the movie gets 100 times better when he gets into the movie. Like, that's a good movie, but then the minute Marlon Brando gets in it, it's like he skyrockets that movie to like...
I think once he's in it, it gets really weird.
That's when it got good.
I don't know.
And he's like in the shadow because he's too fat and they can't look.
They use camera tricks.
They use all these camera tricks around them.
Yeah,
that's all I remember about that movie. I don't remember anything else. Other than
a guy living in Vietnam, in some village in the middle of Vietnam, probably shouldn't be 300 pounds, right?
He's constantly hiding behind a shrub.
He's standing behind a counter. Like, why is there a counter here?
I do have to disagree with you on that one, unfortunately, Dan. You're right. You are going to get a little heat for that, I think. Podcast people, they're going to be commenting like crazy. My two listeners are going to be commenting like crazy about how you...
It's going to be me.
It's going to be you. You're one of the listeners, so...
I'm going to be like, yeah, that's right. Marlon Brando.
All right, Bob. Well, hopefully you can bring some sense to this podcast.
I got an easy one. I haven't seen this person in films in a while, but every time I see them, they annoy the hell out of me, and that's Kristen Stewart.